The government may be asking you to give up your LPG subsidy, but it may soon subsidize all regional flights in the country. Once the new civil aviation policy gets the cabinet's go-ahead, a regional air ticket is likely to be sold on a subsidy, just like an LPG cylinder. So this is what the policy proposes. The airfare for all regional routes will be capped at 2,500 rupees. In fact, that's the calculation the government has arrived at for an hour-long flight, and most of these regional flights will be up to an hour long, not more. The loss that the airlines will make by selling subsidized tickets will be compensated by the centre as well as the state government in an 80-20 ratio, with the centre bearing 80% of the loss and states 20%. So let's take a look at how it will really work out. Supposing the cost of a regional ticket is 3,500 rupees to the airline, and it is sold to the customer at the capped or the subsidized rate of 2,500 rupees. That's a loss of 1,000 rupees to the airline, which will be subsidized by the government, or the loss offset by the government. So 800 rupees will be borne by the centre and 200 rupees by the state. But it's the regular air travellers who will take a hit, with a 2% cess on all major domestic and international tickets, which will help fund this regional connectivity scheme of the government. So this 2% cess is something that the centre will use to offset the losses of the airlines. This is part of the government's larger game plan to give a big boost to regional connectivity, and the centre expects the states to dish out a number of incentives to make the plan work, including setting up of several no-frills airports. There will be no service tax on regional flights, and states will be expected to reduce VAT to 1% or less. They will have to turn airstrips into no-frills airports and provide subsidized services like fire brigade, water and security at these airports. Some airlines have objected to this, saying the government is meddling with pricing. But aviation experts say the logic is simple. If the airlines are being compensated, the government can dictate the price.
So the rule of the game is very simple. Don't take subsidy, price it whichever way you want. If you take a subsidy, you have to go by the price I tell you. The choice is absolutely yours. A political harakiri to be subsidizing the private sector. So from that perspective, this is very bold and revolutionary, and will help bring many of the interior tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4 cities into the air grid. This is very similar to the oil companies, wherein suppose the price of an LPG cylinder or kerosene might be quite high, and then it's made affordable by filling up the gap, the viability gap between its actual cost plus a tiny profit margin and the actual landed cost to the end consumer.
But the success of the government's plan lies in the ability of the states to implement it. Shweta Rajpal Kohli, NDTV.